guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am going to be showing you guys how to do eyeshadow, and I'm going to be taking you step by step. I am bringing the camera in a little closer so you guys can see exactly my eye view, and I wanted to do this because a lot of people ask me how I blend these shadows together and what brushes that I use. So I'm going to show you guys everything like this in the video. So if you are new to my channel, my name is Tanya. Welcome to Kiss and Makeup 0514. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and also before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So if you guys want to see how to blend your eyeshadow like a pro, just keep watching. So guys, I have you really close up to the camera, and this is because I want you guys to see exactly what I'm going to be doing. I will be talking you guys through this, so don't worry. I don't have any eye makeup on, as you guys can see, and the first thing I do before anything else is I always put a base on my eyes. The reason why I put a base on my eyes is just because you want your makeup to last longer, and also you want the colors of the shadows to pop. If you are using brighter colors, I would suggest like something like a white base, and if you're using like regular neutral shades, you can always use any other base. Like my favorite is the MAC Paint Pot. This one is in soft ochre, and I like to put this on my lids before anything. You can go in with a brush, but I like to use my finger, and then I just go in like this and just pat it in, and I always like to bring it up to the brow bone as well. So as you guys can see, it cancels out any veins, any redness, anything like that that I would have on my lid normally, because I like to have like a nice canvas and smooth base to work with. So sometimes you'll find a primer that's really sticky, and you don't want to leave it like that, because what happens is your brush, when you're going in to blend the shadow, it's going to get stuck in that one spot and it's going to be hard to blend out. So what I like to do is I want to take a shadow that's the same shade as my lid, and what I like to do is just sweep right over my lid. And sometimes it's a little bit lighter, just because like I said, when I put like a lighter base underneath, I feel like the shadows pop a lot more. And I just place this and just go, and I bring it all the way up to the brow bone as well. So when you're placing your transition shade, which I like to use something really neutral, I use a brush that is kind of fluffy but is not dense. I don't want to use something that's too dense, just because if it's too dense, it's not going to blend out well. So using a denser brush, you're kind of getting in like those specific areas. But with this, I'm going to be focusing on my crease, and I'm going to be using this Wet n Wild brush. You don't need expensive brushes. This one is like $3 from CVS. So what I like to do is go in with a nice soft neutral shade first, and then I'm going to just blend that right into my crease. What I like to do is I take my brush and blend it like back and forth. It's like window wiper motions, but mine are pretty kind of like circular motions. And as you guys can see, I'm really concentrating that shade right into the crease there, and then kind of going back and forth, and then going in those circular motions. So I'm still going to blend that crease color, and I like to bring it on the outer corner here and then bring it up. And this is still the same shade. So if you guys notice, I'm not touching the lid right here. I'm just going right on the crease. So just taking like a lighter shade, it's more of like a peachy shade. I'm just going to continue working that right into the crease, and I'm actually bringing it just above that crease line as well. Not so much in the crease, but more like above it, and just blending it the same way. So as you guys can see, both shades blended really nicely together. One tip that I've learned is I hold my brushes by here. Like I hold them by the tip. I don't hold them too close, because I feel like if I'm holding it too close like this, it's definitely going to put pressure on the shadow. So what I like to do is hold it here and just kind of like blend it in and work it in. So I'm going to start gradually blending in different shades here, and I'm going to still use the same brush. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of a darker brown shade, and I'm going to blend that right into the crease as well, but just kind of basically making sure to keep it like below on this outer corner. So as you guys can see, I'm keeping it on the outer corner and just blending it right in. And then this is where I get up and I put it right into the crease. So this is where it starts looking really nice. You start getting like that blown out look. You can go even darker than this in the crease. I like to give it a little bit more definition and go darker here. So for that, I just will continue to blend out this brown just a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do is I take a clean brush. So I take this fluffy brush from e.l.f. right here, and what I like to do is I go in and it has no product on it, and I'm just going to blend out right above the crease. So now what I like to do is go in with a little bit of a denser brush, and this is the Sigma E40 brush. If you guys can tell, it's a little like dome shaped more than the Wet n Wild brush, but that's because I'm just going to concentrate this right into the crease, and I want it to be a little bit more on the dense side opposed to being on the softer, fluffier side. So that's why I'm using this one, and I'm going to go in with a darker brown and shade it right into the crease. And this, I'm concentrating it right into that crease, and that's why I'm using this brush, because like I said, it's more of a dense version of a brush, and it's gonna stay right in that crease and just blend everything in. And sometimes I like to just drag it out just a little bit, but not too much. I know a lot of people who drag their shadows out like this, but I like to keep them like kind of close to my eye. You can drag it out if you wanted to, but that's not the look that I'm trying to do today. So we're just gonna keep on blending that right into the crease, and then bring it on the outer corner a little bit. So this is my Morphe E28 brush, and it's a little bit on the dome shaped side as well, but it's kind of like dense. It feels almost like the E40, but just not as dense as that one. But I'm going to be using this because I want to take that darkest shade and I want to concentrate it right on the outer corner and then kind of bring it in just a little bit, just making sure I don't bring it above that crease. What I do is I like to blend it right here on my outer corner, and if you heard that bang, it's like a truck outside, but I like to bring it like on the outer corner there and then concentrate it right up into the crease and just keep blending. But I'm also using like circular motions, as you guys can see, and I'm not going in the inner corner, as you guys can tell. I'm just keeping that darker shade right on the outer corner. So now I want to go in and I want to blend out those lighter shadows up on top a little bit more. So I'm going to go back in with this e.l.f. fluffy brush, but I am going to pick up a little product on that brush. The same shadows we use in the beginning for the crease, and I'm just going to blend it upward. I want it to look like it's peeking right out of that darker shade, so that's why I'm blending it upward. And I'm concentrating it right on the top of my crease. I'm not doing it below the crease. So this is where you might see that you might lose a little bit of your dark shade. So what I'll go in and do is I will go back in and just kind of blend in a little bit of the darker shade on that outer corner. But just making sure I keep it like below the crease. Something I always do is I go on this brow bone here and I take a shade that is lighter and I put that right underneath my brow bone, just because obviously you see I went up a little high with my eyeshadow, which is fine, which I want to just take a little bit of this and kind of blend it in there, so that way that color, like that shade, doesn't go like too high and near the brow bone. But then I still want to go back in and just kind of blend in this shadow up on top, because I don't want any harsh lines. I want it to blend in really seamlessly. So now what I like to do is I want to take my shade for the lid, and I'm still going to use a Wet n Wild brush. This one is, I believe, 99 cents from CVS, Walgreens, anything like that. And it's just their flat shader brush, but I like this one because it's really flat and it gets right onto my lid. I don't have a lot of lid space, so I need something that's going to be really small and flat, and as you guys can see, this is perfect for that. You can do a matte shade or you can do a shimmer shade, whatever you want, but for this tutorial I am going to do a shimmer shade, and I'm just going to put that right on my lid here, and I'm going to show you, I'm just going to blend that right in. And sometimes I use like tapping motions when I get like mostly to the crease. So if you guys can tell, there's like a line right here and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'll go in with another brush. This one is just a brush I got off of Amazon. I think it's, I don't know what brush it is, but this is what it says. Like, this is the logo on the brush. I have no idea where I got this brush. I think it was Amazon. But anyway, so I don't like that line to be like separating the shadows. So I like to bring in my shadows really nicely. I want it to be like faded right into that shadow. So I'm gonna go in with just a different shade, and it's more like a burgundy, and I'm just going to take that and put that right here. You can use the dark shade as well, but I wanted to do something a little different, so I'm gonna take that burgundy shade and just place it right here. So as you guys can tell, that what I'm doing is I'm just bringing it in and just blending it in, like, so it can fade right onto that lid shade, so it doesn't have like that separating line. You can take the darker shade and do this too, but I just wanted to give it a little bit more dimension, so that's why I went in with this shade. But you can definitely do this shade. You can do a matte shadow if you want. But yeah, so I just want to fade it in a little bit. And then I am going to go back in with that shimmer, and I'm just going to place a little bit more. Sometimes when you're blending, you kind of tend to lose that lid color. So you always want to go back in and just like blend that in just a little bit more. I know it seems like a lot of steps, but I like my shadow to be perfectly blended. I don't like to see any like lines or anything like separating my shadows. So what I want to do is go in with that little bit of a darker shade on the end there, and I want to darken it up just a little bit more. Now going back in with that e.l.f. blending brush, I didn't put any product on it. What I want to do is just kind of swirl it around and just make sure everything is blended in. Okay guys, so obviously we are done, and I popped on some lashes and just smoked out the bottom lash, but this is the final look. I just have to pop in some inner corner highlight, which I'm gonna get right now. I always like to do this just because it makes your eyes pop a little bit more. You can also put it on the brow bone as well, and sometimes I do this, sometimes I leave it like the lighter shade, but sometimes I will go in and put it on the brow bone just to make that pop. But I always do my inner corner. If you guys want a video of me showing you how I do my winged liner, let me know. I will do that for you guys as well. So I hope you guys learned something in this video. Please let me know if you guys want to see that winged liner tutorial or eyebrow tutorial, anything like that, and I will be willing to do that for you guys. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.